Hey guys. Okay, let's talk about some small things you need to know about your SOP, about your application. Let's talk about some small mistakes you don't have to make. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you're just dropping by, my name is Jennifer Confidence, a 2020 Erasmus Mundus scholarship awardee who I'm currently in Glasgow, and my second semester will be in Dublin, and then I'll move to Czech Republic. Then before I get to write my thesis. So this period of applications and all that, I've had a lot of people reach out to me asking for review of their SOPs. I've gone through some SOPs, and a number of them. I've had SOPs reviewed for people from Kenya, people from Serbia, people from Pakistan, and a whole lot of other countries. And I think in total, the number of SOPs I've reviewed are about 15 for these people applying for 2021. About 15 SOPs I've reviewed so far. So today's video will be based on what I have noticed from the SOPs I've reviewed so far. There are some things I noticed in the SOPs, and I think it's important I bring it to your notice so as to help those people that are yet to submit, those people that are still writing their SOPs, or those people who will be applying in the future, writing SOPs in the future. So yeah, if you see me looking, you'll see that I have my book here. I had to write them down. I had to jot them down, these things. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is that most of the people do not get to use Grammarly to check their use of words and sentence constructions and all that. And immediately I open it on my system, you see a whole lot of Grammarly underlining like so many sentences and all that. So like I've always said, if you're writing an SOP, ensure you make use of Grammarly. Grammarly is really good. It will help you try to put your choice of words in place. It would help you check your sentence constructions and, just help you ensure that your grammar is correct and all that. Because of course, you do not want to send in an SOP that the grammar is, it's just somehow. It's not just good for you. It won't be good for you. And, you can't be making a bad impression for your reviewer. Like, you can't be making such a bad impression. You need to ensure that your grammar is top notch, like is in place. So that's the first thing I noticed. Also, another thing I noticed is that I saw people writing SOP like it's an academic essay. Now, what do I mean by that? I saw people, defining terms like or making some form of academic explanation, like as if they're writing academic essays, your 10 papers and all that. So somebody writing, like, okay, for example, somebody would start writing, insecurity in Nigeria. It has covered the entire, let's say, northeast of Nigeria. We have insecurity also, like the south part of Nigeria have cultism. The west part of Nigeria has kidnapping. This one has this one has this. Like, you try to explain what insecurity mean. Like, try to give data, like try to give figures and stuff like that. I don't think that is necessary, because the person writing, like, your SOP is not like your academic essay. Now, your SOP is where you need to show why you are qualified for this scholarship, why they should consider you, and do you have the prior knowledge about the course, and what are the things you've done, your experiences, what are your future plans, and a whole lot of that. Not a place for you to come and start giving examples and explaining insecurity in this part of the country. We have insecurity here, we have here, it has led to the deaths of 1 million people, this, like, start giving, quoting a whole lot of those numbers. See, don't get me wrong, I think sometimes you can just chip in something, you can just chip in small. But that does not mean that you start explaining, okay, the Boko Haram does this. The herdsmen in the north part of Nigeria, in the northern part of Nigeria, they do this. And like a whole lot of that. Like I just think it's not necessary. Like I seriously think it's not necessary. Sometimes it's needed for you to maybe just chip in small something about maybe what is happening, but you can't just go ahead and start explaining what Boko Haram is, how many states in Nigeria that Boko Haram is in. You get those type of things then. It's really unnecessary for you to go ahead and be naming the number of states that Boko Haram are in. Like it's like you're just wasting time. Like it's not needed. Also, and then one point I want to make there is that remember the reviewer might be somebody in your field already. The person does you don't need to bore the person with that information. Also, it might be somebody, the reviewer might also be somebody that is not in your field, that does not have any knowledge about what you're talking about. Like they just want to know, why should we give you the job? Or not job, why should we give you the scholarship? Not you explaining a whole lot of that. I think it's not really needed, all those numbers and figures and all that. Also, your language structure, I think it's also important. I think some people would write let's say for example somebody I think I was reading an essay and the person wrote I got a job with let's say NMPC. I got a job with NMPC in 2021. Like I think rather than using I got a job with, what if you use what if you construct your sentence this way? In 2017, I worked with NMPC as let's say as a project manager for you name the project, that kind of something, rather than saying in 2017 I got a job with NMPC where I worked here. Like there's a way you put you construct your sentences. Because now check it out. I got a job with NMPC and I worked with them in this project. Look at this other one. In 2017, I worked with NMPC as the project management officer on this so and so project. That makes better sense than I got a job with NMPC. Nobody wants to know whether you got a job or you don't want to. Just go straight to the point. Yeah. So another thing is I saw a lot of people making open statements. Like, what do I mean by open statement? Some people just said, okay, I led in 20 let's say when I worked with EcoBank, I led a project or I managed a team. Do you get? That's just like an open statement. Sometimes they don't even get to say the people they worked with. I led a project this. Now, what you need to do, something like that, is I led in 2018 as the project management officer of Zenith Bank. I led a project targeted at improving customer care service. At the end of the project, we realized that there was 5% improvement in customer satisfaction. That's better than I led a team that was the team leader. Those are just like open statements, and I don't think those would get you marks. Another thing I realized that is that sometimes people don't name firms they've worked with. They will just say, I worked in 2017, I worked as a project management officer, where I learned this, where I learned that. With which company? Which year? When did you carry out the project? Simple. You need to say what was the outcome of the project. Just simple, like short sentences, simple. Some people don't just say it. Like, it's really important. You need to name those firms. You need to name the year you worked with them. You need to name like the position you served in. Very important. I just see a lot of people and they just make these statements that just there blank and stuff like that. I don't think it's really it does not really make so much of an impression. And a lot of times you drag your sentences, like they just get so long. You need to, every sentence you make must be sharp and just there. It must be sharp and you just throw it there. Not making it so long. You need to be sharp and concise, like really short and concise and stuff like that. Don't make it too draggy and all that. Don't just drag them. No, they drag them. Okay, also something I noticed, I saw that some people in their SOP, they start listing things I feel should be in their CV. Now, if you were listening, I said earlier that when you are saying, okay, I led in 2017 as the project management officer of Zenith Bank, I led a team that was tasked with improving customer care service. And at the end of the project, we realized 5% increase in customer care satisfaction. You've clearly stated what you did, position you served, company you served in, the year and all that. But then sometimes I see people listing things like their responsibilities, like those tiny responsibilities they did. For me, I feel it should be in your CV, not in your SOP. Let's say, for example, we called customer care, we called customers, we asked them how much they have in their account, how did this person how did the customer care how did the person attend to them when they came to the bank and stuff like that. Those things are really not necessary. Those things might just consider transferring them to your CV. For me, that's what I feel. Might just consider transferring to your CV. If you see the first sentence, the sentence I made earlier, it is concise, short, and carries the full message. In 2017, I served as a project management officer of Zenith Bank. We're tasked with the responsibility of improving customer care service. Is it service or services? Anyone. Improving customer care services. And at the end of it, we realized 5% improvement in customer care, in customer satisfaction. Do you get, like, concise is just saying everything and all that. The truth is, it's really like important we try to pick out those parts of what you did, your achievements and all that are really important, not naming all the small responsibilities you did. I don't think it's really necessary for your SOP. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is, okay, so because in my previous video I talked about background story, or like your motivation for applying, and you need to write your motivation for applying. Like if you have like maybe a childhood experience that influenced you, it's important you make reference to it. So because I talked about you making reference to it, I don't mean that you should write an entire 2 paragraphs on it. I saw people writing 2 paragraphs on it. I'm like, no, this is not necessary. Like, you need to go straight to the point. For example, let's say you're studying is it transport engineering? I don't know if there's a course like that. Transport, let's just assume there's a course like transport engineering that deals with issues of transport, let's say traffic lights and all that. And so you're applying to that course. Let's just assume there's a course like that and there's a scenario. And then let's say when you were quite young, you and your friend, you were crossing road and your friend got hit by a truck. And then now you're applying for a master's in transport engineering, and then you're trying to make reference to that as your motivation for applying. Now, how do you put that? Rather than narrating we're crossing the road, the traffic light now did like this, and then a driver now did like this, like narrating all those things, I think it's really not necessary for you to give all those gists. I think it's really not necessary for you to give all those gists. So for such a scenario, you need to go straight to the point, be concise, be short and everything. Try to construct the language very well, but you get what I'm saying. So you bring a bit of, you say your childhood experience. Now what happened? A truck. What happened? Hit a friend. And what was the reason? You would not say traffic light malfunctioning. So now you get it straight, it's put there. Now you construct the sentence in the way it will look so simple and concise, and you put it out there. Rather than saying, on the 25th of December 1999, I was crossing road with my friend. We're coming back from Christmas celebration, and as we were going, car now come and jam the person. Okay, so the car now came and jammed the person, and then what happened? You now realize the traffic light changed and it started malfunctioning. So the driver thought he was supposed to go, and then he went, and then your friend was crossing, and then the car now hit. No, 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 no. Those stories are just too long and like seriously unnecessary. Just go straight to the point. What happened? Childhood experience, yes. Truck driver, yes. Your friend, yes, was hit, and then what now happened? It's because of a traffic light, and then that traumatic experience influenced your interest in transport engineering and stuff like that. Straight to the point, concise. Okay, so I also noticed that some people were putting some ambiguous words, like some words that ordinarily some people would not understand, like they have to check dictionary. I think it's really unnecessary. Don't make your reviewer go to the dictionary, start checking dictionary. Like I think it's like unnecessary. Don't make the person start things. There are some words you should not be using. Like, okay, let's say for example now, I'm writing in my SOP and I'm writing, and I get to a place and I write Mbutu philosophy. Like, really? You don't need that. Now, this is making the person, ordinarily, most people would not know maybe what Ubuntu philosophy is. I hope I pronounce it well. It's a South African word that is all about, is it brotherly, waiting. Just something like that. And I go and write Ubuntu philosophy or something. Like, ordinarily, the recruiter or the reviewer may just look and maybe start checking this shot. You don't want to make the person go through that. Go straight. Let your choice of words be concise. Don't be using ambiguous words then that will just just make the person lose interest in reading your SOP. I think you need to take note of that. Sometimes, okay, also I noticed that some things that are not supposed to be paragraphs, some people made them paragraphs. Sometimes you're writing something and then the next paragraph is supposed to be joined to the first paragraph, but then I see people separating it. You need to be really careful in your paragraph separations and stuff like that. Before you make any paragraph, ask yourself if that is enough to constitute a paragraph on its own. Because I read some and I saw that these two paragraphs are supposed to be joined as one, but then they were separated. The second paragraph is a continuation of what you were talking about in the first one, but then you now separate it. Be very careful. Take note of that. Also, I saw that some people do not have a grounded knowledge about the Erasmus. Like, it's important about the Erasmus and the course they're applying to. The first thing you should do is to read about Erasmus. You need to be sure what you're writing. Sometimes I think it's really unnecessary for you to you start writing Erasmus Alumni Association in Nigeria. Like, there's no association like Erasmus Alumni Association in Nigeria. There is no association like that. But we'll have Erasmus Mundus Association. That Erasmus Mundus Association is both for students and alumni. It's joined together. So if you go ahead writing Erasmus Mundus Alumni Association, like, what is that? So you have to be very careful what you're writing, because it shows that you do not have a grounded knowledge about the Erasmus program. So, and you don't want to, give yourself away that way. So it's really important. Also about your course, you don't have to make some silly mistakes about your course title or what your course is all about. Like, don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. Please read about your course title and stuff like that. I don't think it's really necessary. It will be unfair to yourself if you don't have a grounded knowledge of what the course is all about, and then you're making some mistakes about the name, the title of the course, and some other things. I think it would be unfair to yourself and to the program. So you wouldn't want to make such a mistake. Okay, I hope I've been able to say one or two things that would guide you. Please, it's important you take note of these little things. They might be little, but they're really needed. If you have to get the scholarship, you need to get to know them. As I would always emphasize, please ensure you use Grammarly. You can't be 100% with your English, but your English is good. But at the same time, sometimes you need you need to use Grammarly to help you know that, okay, you need to rephrase some things and write it in a better way and stuff like that. So you need to be really, really super careful with your choice of words, and that's why I always recommend Grammarly. It's really important. It's really important. It's really important. Okay, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this was really helpful. If this video was really helpful, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, and then share it to your loved ones, share it everywhere. You know, the goal for this year is to get this month rather is to get 500 subscribers by the end of January. Please do subscribe, please refer people to my channel. Thank you very much, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.